Alright, let's jump into this problem. In the figure above, a double cone is inscribed in a cylinder whose radius is x and the height is 2x. What is the volume of the space inside the cylinder but outside the double cone in terms of x? Alright, so this is simply asking us the volume for the space inside the cylinder outside of the double cone. So technically we need to find the volume for the cylinder and then subtract the two cones that are inside. Now, firstly, we need the formula. What is the volume of the cone? So the volume of the cone, let's call this cone, we know is a third pi r squared times the height. The volume of the cylinder, let me just call it cy, going to be equal to pi r squared times the height. So firstly, let's look at the volume of the cone. If I look at the volume of the cone, in this case, for the first cone, let's call that this volume of cone. Let me just erase that. That's going to be equal to 1/3 times pi. The radius is going to be x, so that's going to be x squared times the height, which is going to be half, is going to be x. So as a result, here, this is going to be 1/3 pi x cubed. Now we know that there's two of these cones, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to multiply this by 2. Let me use a different color. So if I multiply by the two cones that I have, I'm going to have 2/3 pi x cubed, and this is going to be the volume of the two cones combined. Now I need the volume of the cylinder. So the volume of the cylinder, VCY, going to simply be equal to pi times the radius, and again is going to simply be x, so that's going to be x squared, times the height, which is going to be 2x. So here I'm going to simply have 2x cubed pi, if I may write it like that. Now put it back in the same order. Now I need the volume inside, so all I need to do is to subtract both volumes. So let's do this. Is going to be my final volume. That's simply going to be equal to the volume of the cylinder, which is going to be 2x, let me just write the pi's in the same order, 2 pi x cubed minus 2/3 pi x cubed. Notice these are like terms, so all I need to do now is take 2/3 from 2. So if I may do some basic math over here, if I got 2 minus 2/3, all I need to do is multiply this by 3, multiply the top also by 3. So I'm going to get 6/3. Let me just erase some of that. 6/3 minus 2/3. The bottoms are the same. So this is going to simply be 2 from that, going to be 4/3. So my final answer, let me just finalize this. Let me use a different color. Simply going to be, if I may put it right here, going to simply be 4 pi x cubed all divided by 3, and that completes my problem.